Picture this, the dawn of the 16th century. England is in the robust grip of the Tudor dynasty, a period of grandeur, a time of opulence, a scene set for drama and intrigue. A young king ascends the throne, a charismatic and athletic figure, brimming with vitality and gusto. This is no ordinary monarch, this is Henry VIII, a name that would reverberate through the annals of history. Henry, a mere 17 years old, was thrust into the limelight of kingship following the death of his father, Henry VII. With the weight of the crown on his youthful shoulders, he navigated the intricate web of royal politics with an infectious charm and a keen intellect. This was a king who was larger than life, not just in stature but in his ambitions and desires. Yet behind the scenes of this regal spectacle, a love story was unfolding. A story that would become the first act in a dramatic sequence of 6 royal romances. Henry's bride, Catherine of Aragon, a Spanish princess of noble lineage and unwavering faith, was originally betrothed to his older brother Arthur. However, fate had other plans. Arthur's untimely death led to an alliance of convenience, a political marriage that would strengthen England's ties with Spain. Catherine, a woman of grace and beauty, was more than a pawn in the Game of Thrones. She was a queen in her own right, a partner to Henry in the early years of his reign. Together they ruled England, navigating the treacherous waters of politics, religion and diplomacy. Yet beneath the surface, the seeds of discontent were being sown. The quest for a male heir, the cornerstone of royal succession, would become an obsession for Henry, leading him down a path of controversy and upheaval. So our young king is married, but as we will see, marital bliss was not a concept Henry held dear. The stage is set, the players are in place, and the drama of Henry VIII's tumultuous reign is about to unfold. As time passed, the lack of a male heir became an obsession for Henry, leading to the infamous Great Matter. You see, Henry's first wife, Catherine of Aragon, had borne him a daughter, Mary, but no son. And in the 16th century, it was sons who inherited thrones, not daughters. Henry became convinced that his marriage to Catherine was cursed, an idea that was fueled by a particular passage from the Bible, Leviticus 20:21, which states, "If a man takes his brother's wife, it is impurity. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless." This was particularly poignant for Henry, as Catherine was the widow of his elder brother, Arthur. Then a spark of hope arrived in the form of a vivacious courtier named Anne Boleyn. She was intelligent, charming, and unlike any woman Henry had ever met. She refused to become his mistress, insisting instead on the title of Queen. Anne's refusal to be just another royal mistress intrigued Henry, and he became infatuated with her. Henry's determination to marry Anne led him to seek an annulment from Catherine, arguing that their marriage had been cursed from the start due to her prior marriage to his brother. However, the Pope refused to grant the annulment, leading to a monumental shift in England's religious landscape. In a bold and unprecedented move, Henry broke from the Catholic Church and established the Church of England, with himself as its head. This allowed him to grant his own annulment and marry Anne Boleyn. This move, known as the English Reformation, had profound religious and political consequences that reverberated throughout the rest of Henry's reign and beyond. With Anne Boleyn at his side and a new religious order, Henry hoped for a son. But hope, as they say, is a fickle friend. Enter Anne Boleyn, a queen who would forever alter England's history. Anne, a charismatic and intelligent woman, caught the eye of King Henry VIII, and the stage was set for a royal romance that would shake the foundations of England's religious and political landscape. From the moment Anne Boleyn entered the scene, she wielded an influence over Henry that was both fascinating and unprecedented. She was not content to be a mere mistress, and Henry, bewitched by her charm and desperate for a male heir, broke from the Catholic Church to marry her, ushering in the English Reformation. Their marriage was a stormy affair marked by passion, power struggles, and the constant pressure to produce a male heir. Instead, Anne gave birth to a girl, the future Queen Elizabeth I. Undeterred, Anne instilled in her daughter a sense of authority and independence that would serve Elizabeth well in her future reign. But as Anne failed to deliver a son, her position became increasingly precarious. Henry's eye began to wander, and his advisors, eager to regain their influence over the king, seized upon Anne's unpopularity at court. Accused of adultery, incest and treason, Anne was arrested and sent to the Tower of London. In a tragic twist of fate, the woman who had once been the most powerful in England was beheaded on Tower Green in May of 1536. Her downfall was as swift as her rise had been meteoric, leaving a lasting impression on the English consciousness. Yet, despite her tragic end, Anne's legacy lived on in her daughter, Elizabeth. Under Elizabeth's rule, England would experience a golden age of prosperity, exploration and artistic expression. In a way, Anne had the last laugh. She may not have given Henry the son he so desired, but she gave England one of its greatest queens. With Anne gone, Henry was once again on the hunt for a wife, but this time he had a taste for variety. And so, the parade of queens continued, each leaving their own indelible mark on the tumultuous reign of King Henry VIII. Hold on to your hats, folks, because here comes a parade of queens. After Anne Boleyn's tragic downfall, Henry didn't waste much time before he was off to the altar again, this time with Jane Seymour. Jane was a stark contrast to Anne, demure where Anne was vivacious, and she finally granted Henry his long-awaited male heir. But alas, she died shortly after childbirth, leaving Henry heartbroken. Next up in the procession, we have Anne of Cleves. Now, here's a tale of a marriage born from a political alliance and ended by the lack of a physical one. Henry famously referred to Anne as the Flanders mare, and their marriage was annulled after just 6 months. But fear not, Anne got the last laugh. She outlived all of Henry's wives and his children, earning the nickname the King's beloved sister. Next in line, we have Catherine Howard. Young, beautiful and vivacious, Catherine was Henry's rose without a thorn. But alas, her past caught up with her. Accused of adultery and treason, she met a fate similar to her cousin, Anne Boleyn, and was executed. Last, but certainly not least, we have Catherine Parr. Twice widowed before she married Henry, Catherine was more nurse than queen to the ailing king. But don't let that fool you. She was a formidable woman in her own right. She outlived Henry, remarried and even published books under her own name. Quite a feat for a woman in the 16th century. Each of these marriages had profound impacts on England's political landscape. From alliances formed and broken to religious reforms and the line of succession, Henry's marital escapades were far from personal affairs. They were political chess moves shaping the course of history. And there you have it, 6 queens, 6 stories, and 1 king with a penchant for wedding cake. In the end, Henry's marital escapades left a lasting mark on the pages of history. When we look back at Henry VIII's reign, it's almost impossible to separate the man from his marital controversies. But the impact of his 6 marriages went far beyond palace intrigue. It fundamentally transformed the English Reformation and the monarchy itself. Henry's desperate quest for a male heir led him to break from the Catholic Church, establishing the Church of England with himself at its helm. This monumental decision not only allowed him to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, but also permanently altered the religious landscape of England. His marriage to Anne Boleyn, though turbulent and ultimately tragic, resulted in the birth of Elizabeth I. Her reign, known as the Elizabethan era, was a golden age for English literature, drama and maritime exploration. It was also a time of religious tolerance, a stark contrast to the religious upheavals of her father's reign. Henry's remaining marriages, while less politically impactful, further demonstrated his volatile nature and his obsession with securing his dynasty. Each wife, from Jane Seymour to Catherine Parr, played a part in the unfolding drama of the Tudor court and left their own mark on the monarchy. Yet it was Henry's personal choices that arguably had the most profound impact. His decision to break from the Catholic Church, his relentless pursuit of a male heir, and his volatile marital history all played a role in shaping the course of English history. In the end, Henry VIII's legacy is a complex tapestry of royal romance, political intrigue, and religious revolution. His reign was a tumultuous period that forever changed England and left an indelible mark on the annals of history. So, what do you think of our infamous king and his 6 queens? Drop us a comment and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more riveting tales from history.